I heard a story about a woman who went to bed fully clothed, woke up undressed, and her husband was on top of her. Her legs were spread. And she looked towards the end of the bed. She was groggy, trying to figure out what's going on, and she noticed a red blinking light.
We can take that up when we return in the next session, but going forward on this bill, we think it's best to leave that for another day.
This amendment has to do with somebody's mental capacity at the time that it's there. We cannot go into someone's home and understand what somebody believes at that time, at that moment.
What's on the books currently today is steeped in centuries of the assumption that in a marriage the woman is property.
I just don't know why getting married would change my legal status regarding sexual assault. Am I chattel?
I know that there are members of this body who have passionately advocated for victims of sexual assault and domestic violence over the course of this session. And I'm not sure if I should find it ironic or suspicious that these folks are not yet brave enough to speak on this issue.
But I would characterize myself as one of those very passionate people, and I just wanted to make note that I added myself as a co-sponsor to this amendment.
If I continue to hear long comments that go beyond what I consider to be a reasonable amount of time, I'm going to ask for a time limit.
Debate to a time limit of 2 minutes per individual speaking. I think it's reasonable.
Mr. Speaker, I'm surprised we're even talking about this. I really am. I'm surprised that this isn't something that we unanimously get behind. It really does surprise me, because it is time that we change this.
Alaska, that we have a problem with sexual assault, and more pertinently, the men of this state predominantly have a problem with sexual assault. It is high time that other men in this state stand up for the defense of the vulnerable. Sexual gratification on the man's part, or as the case may be, the woman's part, does not rise to the level of being more important than defending the vulnerable one in that relationship. Many states are repealing laws that are similar to this in order to defend
Representative, if you're going to read from talking
not reading.
Points, please ask for permission to read. We've got a long day in front of us, and I'm going to be real consistent with all members. Please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Many states are repealing laws specifically like this one to bring this issue, especially in the Me Too movement that's going on throughout our state or throughout our nation, into line with what is appropriate. This is important for us to do today, and it is important for us to take a stand for those most vulnerable. I'd ask for your support.
There are young women who are dealing with this as an issue. There are middle-aged women who are dealing with this as an issue. There are probably senior women who are dealing with this as an issue. And to say that we need to continue to work on it and just brush it under the rug for another year is wrong. This is something that we can address right now, and we need to take care of it right now to protect Alaskan men and women who are currently the victims of this law. So I would ask for your support on Amendment number 1 to Amendment number 4.
There are people in this state right now who we have examples of where they have been sexually assaulted by their partner, and they were able to use marriage as a defense to be able to prevent any sort of jail time or any sort of ramifications. It is time that we move away from the 17th century ideals of women being property, and that we move into very clearly where we are today, where we recognize that both the male and the female, or whatever the relationship is, they both have the same rights, and that's the right to be respected.
shall Amendment number 1 to Amendment number 4 pass the House. Members may proceed to vote. Will the clerk please lock the roll?